Appreciate you, Ambassador. Okay. Give thanks, Lord. Appreciate you, Ambassador, and all of the ambassadors of peace and love, goodwill, and stewardship of the planet. I'm super interested in the part of your presentation, Lloyd, where you talked about the Garden of Eden and gardening, about our Victory Garden over at Free LA High School, and also very aware of Souls Are Soil, agribusiness, and cultural fellowship between the Living Well Tour, Tukatane, EV Kenya, Pillars Care in Kenya, and Empire for the Youth in Detroit. We appreciate you coming into those sessions some Friday mornings, and want to just, propose our student community in collaboration with Yeli for that work, and just really invite you and the other guests that are here right now into our conversation tomorrow, Christmas Eve, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And we're going to be celebrating, praise and worship. And hope that you can join us. Looking forward to a wonderful new year with you all. Peace and love.
Thank you very, very, very much. I will absolutely be attending that event tomorrow.
That registration is in the chat. I put the registration and link into the chat.
So could you mention one more time the start time for that?
9 a.m. Pacific. We're going to be streaming from Fifth Avenue Market in Los Angeles, California, where the epicenter of Cairo Summit in this summer of 2020 really encouraged a lot of folks. And work is still being done to impact the inner city community of Los Angeles. Big up to 5 Points Youth Foundation, Sister Silky D, Universal Hip Hop Museum. Big up.
Thank you very much, Sir Bailey. And I will make sure that I'm on that line. I do have another call at 10 o'clock, but I will be. We'll try to be down there at 9 to participate in that event as well, at least for the first hour. So I guess I would like to call on our females first, as we usually do. We have a few on the call. I'm seeing in the top corner, Gemma. If you would like to introduce yourself, that would be great.
Hello everyone, my name is Gemma. I'm actually joining the IGU Summit for the second time, as this is like really informative and getting to know so many interesting initiatives. As like Joy mentioned, like there is so many areas of action to be taken for the new year. And for me, like I know like I will be joining for any other session and summits upcoming next year. So I wish everyone like a good and safe and protected time with families during festive times. And thank you.
Thank you, Gemma. Yes. So we'll have, I guess, Stephanie, who I was corresponding with yesterday, and she has just traveled. So she'll hopefully tell us where she is and what she's going to be doing for the next month or so.
For sure. Thank you, Lloyd. I appreciate it, and good to see everybody here. I'm usually in Toronto, Canada, though part of Maui Aloha Project Ecovillage initiative. I'm right now in Maui, Hawaii, and I'm going to be here for several weeks. And participating in establishing our Ecovillage initiative here on Maui, Hawaii, as a center in the Pacific, South Pacific, between the Americas and the Asias, and also going to be participating in starting some tree planting initiatives here to link the continents and link the initiatives for tree planting for peace and reconciliation. I am in my final year of my doctoral studies at the University of Toronto, the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education. And my research focuses on holistic education, regenerative well-being, particularly looking at disability theory and labeling children from a deficit model, learning disabilities, behavioral disabilities. And our Ecovillage initiative, Maui Aloha project, is focused on recreating from an ability model focused on multi-literacies and inclusive design. And it's a living, learning, and healing model for regenerative design. And I'm also co-founder and director of the Global Unity Network and the Unity Learning Network that is addressing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals through communication and practical food systems learning. And I'm also a podcast host and producer featuring the leading research in languages and literacies. Essentially, the world can communicate better, more harmoniously and peacefully. And that's some of the things that I do. So thank you, Lloyd, and thank you, everybody. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Stephanie. So I'm the next person I see on my screen is Susan Yego, and I'm hoping she will be able to introduce herself. At least I know she's mentioned that she might not have the best voice at this time, but maybe she could just say hello. If that's not possible, we can always move forward. Let's see, I'm seeing Heather, perhaps? Heather Figeland?
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, Lloyd. My name is Heather Figeland, and I represent an organization called Amanzi for Life. And we believe about the importance of water to children. And so joining up with the groups, I'm learning quite a bit, and I'm hoping to learn more as we continue. Thank you so much, Lloyd.
Yeah, thank you, Heather. And I believe we had a very brief chat yesterday online, and there's a possibility we may be establishing another node of our network as a result of that conversation. So what am I looking at? Who have we not heard from? Jemima. Are you available to? I see that you look like you are unmuted. I'm not sure. Sometimes some people cannot have a microphone available to them. Jemima Kutata, are you able to speak? Sounds like no. So we can, let's go to Rose. And if Rose is unable to speak, I see Umar Adamu has his hand up. Umar, would you like to unmute yourself?
Good evening, good afternoon. My name is Umar Adamu. I'm speaking from Ghana. And I saw a proposal which was being proposed that by 2022 they should plant 2 billion trees. And I want to find out whether it's a confirmed proposal or confirmed project. Because on the African and Diaspora page, which was made it clear that 55 African countries, and we know for sure we cannot get the 55 African countries. Most some African countries are not under good peace stabilized. So my question is, how can we get opportunity or the 36 million planning tree plan can be done? And that is my question. And secondly, to the African network for this project, I think we are not up to the number. when you see it's only few, the Arab Gulf and the South Africans are not part, and the Middle Central Africa. It's only a sea with West African and other North African. So I want to find out how can we get all of us involved to work on 2022 projects. Thank you very much.
So it sounds like there are. No, I'm going to have to mute you because there's quite a bit of noise in the background there. But it did sound like there were two questions there regarding both tree planting initiatives as well as how to get different countries involved, maybe separate part of the conversation. Of course, this is a big challenge. Obviously, it is a huge challenge, but we are taking up that challenge through the Unity Network African Diaspora. Actually, Carlos from Sierra Leone, who is the continental president, is just coming into the chat right now. So we do have our group, the Continental Secretariat that is being established. So as I mentioned, the beginning stage for this tree planting initiative and reforestation initiative is essentially the planting of the trees of peace and reconciliation, which leads to the creation of these Unity garden projects in the local communities, which will be built by the local teams and the local communities, these INBC. So this is going to be a project. I mean, that we're not obviously looking at trying to plant these trees, 2 billion trees, let's say, or more in the next year or the next 2 years even. But we're looking at a long-term project that will take place likely in the end, likely over generations. Many of us on this call may not even be alive by the time this happens, but we plant all of these gardens in all of these communities and do this, but we want to, of course, do it as quickly as possible and achieve as many of the sustainable development goals as possible in the next 8 years. So, to accelerate this as rapidly as we can throughout 2022 and begin to build these projects out. And obviously, trees, when they're planted, take quite a while to mature. Here in Canada, for instance, an oak tree, for instance, will be planted this year, but won't be mature for several decades down the road. And it's likely the same. Of course, as we plant the trees out, they will take years and sometimes decades before they mature. And in some cases, fruit trees, for instance, will take years before they can bear significant amounts of fruit. So we are looking at this as a long-term prospect moving forward. But in terms of the relationships and the peace issues in the different countries, of course, this is a lot of this stuff is out of our control. We are not a civil society organization necessarily. We will be working with civil society organizations. We will hopefully be working with governments in all the different countries. We do have peace initiatives that have been mentioned. For instance, the Tea Diplomacy Initiative, which is linked to a larger food diplomacy initiative, which is coming out of Pakistan. That we will be having these conversations, especially between the 2+ billion Christians and the 2 billion Muslims of the world, to try to align everybody toward a common goal of achieving peace and regenerative development together. So I'm looking at who have we not heard from? Maybe people could put up their hand if they have not yet spoken and would like to say a few words.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Carlos. How are you doing?
Yes. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Yes, Good day, my beloved global team. I'm really happy to see a fruitful and wonderful meeting for ending the 2021 here. My name is Carlos Richard Sankor. I am the Continental President for UnityNet Africa and Diaspora. I just want to add, based on the questions the gentleman from the other end asked, that he has not seen our colleagues or the other countries from North Africa and etc. So I just want to say this, that so far we have Egypt, and Egypt is representing one of the North African countries, and also we are expanding also to other countries like Tunisia, etc., and those ones. But the problem we are facing with the Arab countries, the North African countries, we all know that these are dominatory Arab countries, and we have a problem of for them participating really onto this particular intervention of UnityNet Africa and Diaspora activities. And because we have a benchmark that you should follow, and one of it is we are strictly following the gender lens. We want to ensure that gender equity is there. So we've been facing serious problems from the Arab countries. We all know the problem of women participating fully, especially in public programs of this nature. So myself and the global team, we already set it as a policy that we want to ensure that in any country, we want to ensure that we have a full participation of women and men, and also even people with disability and inclusiveness. So complete inclusiveness is actually our agenda. So that's what is the serious problem we are currently facing from the North African countries. All right. So, but we also want to tell you, all of us, that we are in serious coordination partnership with the Francophone countries, all the French countries. Of course, Lloyd already mentioned DR Congo, Benin, Cameroon, etc. Even now Guinea is coming up. A lot of those African Francophone countries, they are coming up. They have expressed so much interest to ensure that they are part of this entire fold. So, of course, the Anglophone countries, they are fully participating. So we ensure that we have everybody in Africa, the 55 countries, including those in the diaspora. We have all of them represented. And as I'm saying now, the Deputy Continental Secretary is from Egypt, yeah, Dr. Kamal. Though he's not active, but he's there representing, in North Africa. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Carlos. Carlos is closer to the game than even I. He's been so involved in helping to establish the African network. It's been such a pleasure to work with Carlos, and he really believes in the work that he's been doing. And it's been a wonderful experience to work with somebody from Africa who has such passion. Just looking at the names who I don't recognize here. As an example, Dodana Hadebe is someone I don't think I have seen before. Is it possible that you can unmute yourself?
Hi, good evening. My name is Dotana Hatebe. I'm new in this platform. It's my first day today. It's a little bit noisy outside there, sorry for that. But I'm new here. I'm very excited to be part of this project. I do a lot of community work within community action networks here in Cape Town. Thanks to Heather, invited me to this platform. I enjoyed, there's a lot of information I gathered. I'll be in contact and be in touch with you to share more about myself and what I do, because I do a lot of community work as well. Thank you so much. Otherwise, I listen the whole way. Yeah, there's a lot of takeaways for me. Just unfortunate I didn't see anyone from South Africa. So in the end of those things, but hopefully we join here and we are based in Cape Town ourselves. We want to see you guys also. We want to be part of these projects. But like I said, you are available. My details are already in the chat. I've put it there on the chat board so that you can contact us. But thank you so much for everything. Everything was very informative, very touching. God bless you, everyone, and good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Dodana. That was excellent. We do have a South African chapter already established. I see Heidi has her hand up.
Yes, good evening. I don't know if I'm being unmuted. Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I'm actually Heidi's associate. My name is Juliet Miabo. I've just came in through her link. Unfortunately, I just got off from another meeting. I will go back to the recording. But what's critical for me and what I'd like to introduce that I'm the head, I'm one of the executive for the township. I am from South Africa, Township Economic Council of South Africa. We look at areas of township economy, but I focus mainly in the areas of CSI development, sustainable development issues, environmental issues. So this is my area where I would be working closely with Heidi. So Heidi and Heather actually invited me on board. And we do a lot of work mainly in Soweto. As you know, Soweto is it's almost like an epicenter of African townships. And we would like to start getting townships such as Soweto to actively participate in global programs rather than being isolated. And then we also work with Abondotana and other townships in South Africa. But I will leave it at this, and I'm also glad to be part of this team, but I will engage with the notes and the recording for the parts that I've missed out. We had our also last engagement now, just now another meeting that we just came from. So, but I will look at the notes and engage further. I'll also leave my contacts. Thank you. I am from South Africa.
Yes, thank you very much, Heidi. Or I should say Juliet.
I'm happy to be hiding for today. Yes.
So I'm seeing Mustafa as well with his hand up one more time, or he just didn't lower it. Did you want to unmute yourself, Mustafa? Yeah. You muted and then unmuted and then muted again. So you're still muted. There we go.
Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good.
I hope everyone is fine. I'm Mustafa from the Gambia. I'm very new here, but I remember I met Andrew Williams, I think through Hashel Daniel's connection some time ago. I was dealing with Hashel Daniel for almost 1 year now on Africa Diaspora Directorate. Notwithstanding, I'm a social, environmental, and human rights advocate. Most of my job was directed to human rights environment since I work with the State Department of Forestry for almost 3 years after my practical training. Currently, I am engaged more into agroforestry issues with SOS Children, the villages, the Gambia. I'm also running private entities like supporting entrepreneurs in the Gambia and also students. I'm pursuing my BA in Environmental Sciences and Development Studies at the University of the Gambia. I'm part of students who are anchoring SDG Hour in one of the local radio in Brikama or in the Gambia. So I'm very happy to be affiliated with a group of knowledgeable and technocrats here, and I'm looking forward to more partnership and more collaboration in the area of supporting marginalized and vulnerable people, since these are people that really deserve our support and really waiting for with an open handed. So anyone here who is interested in environment, fighting the right and justice of the fighting the right of the local people, especially marginalized people, women and children, I'm really open for you, and the partnership will be there. And my support is also always guaranteed for you. It's a busy day in the Gambia today because people are preparing for Christmas. I'm personally from an activity where I'm working with local people to unveil their problem. So I'm heading to the beach side right now. But notwithstanding, I will follow your program to the end. Attached is my contact and my some of the little work we do here. If you want to familiarize yourself with it, I will give you a copy of my Facebook link for anyone who want to get connection. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone here.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much, brother.
Yes, actually, that's, I guess, Mustafa will be our first person, I think, from the Gambia. I've been wanting to create a chapter there. I think Gambia is right next to and adjacent to where Carlos is in Sierra Leone, if I'm getting my geography right. We should have a discussion, a follow-up discussion about creating UnityNet Gambia as well. And so, yes, I see Carlos has written into the chat already. So we'll have a follow-up discussion with Carlos about that. So I'm just looking at the time. I'm seeing it's 1:11 right now, 11 minutes after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I think we might want to consider wrapping this up for today. If there are, I'm not sure if we have gone and heard from everybody yet. I'm looking at all the names here. I'm seeing, I saw somebody with a very long, complex name that would have been hard to.
Well, in the meantime, perhaps I could introduce myself.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, obviously, we haven't heard from Andrew yet. Oh.
Well, everyone, thank you so very much for joining us. This is actually your forum. We're providing it at no cost so that we'll be able to create a global collaborative. Sustainable Development Goal number 17 is useless unless we actually put partnerships into work. So we want to provide a platform for all of you to use this. From now through December of next year, this same platform will be available, and we will be rebroadcasting portions of it on AHIABGA-TV. The idea is that it's important that we reach a wider audience than just those that are able to join us, and a wider audience than those that are able to join us on Facebook. So typically, I download these sessions and then upload them to YouTube, but it's so important that all of us that do have an interest in sharing the information to do just that. There are only 5 corporations that own 95% of the world's media. So it's up to us to get our own narrative out. And the best way to do that is to share the knowledge among the people that have a like-minded interest in what we're doing. So we want to provide a platform where we can all together come collectively together. This is not just a program for this year, as Lloyd says. I've been involved with the United Nations Global Compact, which was founded at the same time as the Millennium Development Goals in 2000. So I understand that this is a lifelong mission. We'll be doing this to the end of our last living breath. So we may as well do what we can to connect with others that are on the same journey. I put my contact information in the chat, so I look forward to working and networking with you in any way I possibly can. Thank you so much.
And thank you as always, Andrew. We're always very much appreciative of your efforts, and we're always trying to do better with each week that passes by, and we move forward in achieving what I think is absolutely necessary if humanity is to be able to overcome the challenges that are in front of us. So I guess with that, unless anybody else would like to say a few words, I'd like to go back. I'm seeing Miss Thuzali Zamshaka. I'm not sure if that's how to pronounce your name. I'm not sure if you would like to be able to unmute yourself. Oh, Ayodele, I didn't notice you were here. Go ahead, Ayodele. I see your hands up.
Yes, good evening. Sorry, my network has not been. I just want to say thank you for these presentations, and want to appreciate Prince Andrew for bringing us together, and especially for connecting us to the global world. We want to appreciate our continental president, Professor Carlos from Sierra Leone. And we want to just solicit to our counterpart from Nigeria, especially from the West Africa. We want to see them to be more active on our platform, and at the same time on our weekly UnityNet Global Summit. So thank you for all your effort. We believe that coming year 2022, we're going to do better than this. We really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ayodele. That was Ayodele from Nigeria, I believe. Sorry, from Uganda.
Yes, I'm in Nigeria, but from Uganda.
I'm always so many countries, 55 countries. It's not a continent I know well. I have never visited Africa myself, hoping to do so someday. But for now, we're in the middle of a pandemic that is apparently getting worse all over the world. We're already talking here as well about potentially schools not opening up in the new year again in some provinces of Canada because of this Omicron Delta variant onslaught. So we will actually have one more week next Thursday. That will be our last for 2021. We'll have one more IGU Summit event next week. But for this week, let's wrap it up. And unless anybody else would like to say a few final words, wishing everybody. Somebody, I heard some words.
Yeah. Lord, it's Carlos. Yes. I'm really grateful to the global team and the continental team that is ensuring that we have our focus ready and it is in place, and the participation and the contribution of all our global partners. I'm very much impressed what is going on, but I want to implore everybody here and all our partners, the 55 countries in Africa, and our global team, Canada, the US, Europe, Asia, etc. Our first proposed project, which is the planting of trees of peace and reconciliation, and also as a source of economic livelihood. We propose for 2022 in collaboration with the World Environmental Day, June 5th. This is a big project. this is a big proposal. And this will manifest the seriousness of UnityNet globally and regionally. So therefore, I want to encourage all of us to come on board, all of us to do our best to ensure that we employ what we call the right technicality or capacity that is required to ensure this one is done, the logistical implications, the funds that will be needed to ensure that this happens, and so many other things that are needed to ensure that we have it right. So please, let us ensure that we do our best to ensure we have it right and have it ready before the actual date itself. This will help us. This will show to the world that we are ready to reforest, to rebrand the world. Thank you so much. And I'm expecting a lot from all of us to ensure that this happens. I thank you all, and I wish you Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos, for those final words. I'm seeing as well Heidi has her hand up one more time, so we'll go to Heidi for closing, I suppose you could say.
Okay, I know I shouldn't be closing, but I just feel that, and I hope that this issue could have been raised on the parts that I missed out. Okay, but it is basically taking into account what has happened in the world in terms of COVID and the amount of space that has been allocated to graveyards. I personally know that when we, in one of our youth development projects, when we approached the local municipality about the improvement of the parks and reforesting and adding trees on the parks, one of the responses that we got a while ago was that the priority is on creating space for graveyards and working on the graveyards. So what we then did, we made a summary or a proposal to say we need to look at to encourage people to actually plant, or even the municipality that owns, or the government that owns the graveyards, to start looking at using that space to plant trees, because a dead space can be a space of life, it can be a place of life-giving using trees. So I'm throwing it just on this platform, and I will further engage, and I will listen at the notes and see and look at the notes. Maybe it's an issue that has been raised, but I'd like us to note it, because a lot of space has been used, unfortunately, for what is not lifeless. I'm saying that with all respect, but it can be turned around as a life-giving space using trees and planting of trees. Okay, thank you for allowing me, Chairperson.
Yes, thank you, Heidi. Actually, that is a really important thing. I actually, many years ago, I did some research about what's called natural burials. And there are some graveyards actually here in Canada, and I think in the US and around the world, where they have what's called natural burials, and they will plant trees and they will plant on the graves with the people that have been buried. And it doesn't use, many of them don't use the chemicals, like for instance, that's used in the burial systems. I can likely connect you as well to some people that are in the natural burial industry. I had many conversations years ago about that.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome, because then we can benchmark. Because I think at some point, the people that we're talking to, they looked at us with like dead eyes. But that'd be awesome, Chairperson. The name again is Juliet, as in Romeo and Juliet. It doesn't get more colonial than that. But I'll say Heidi is okay for now. Thank you.
Oh, yes.
We did see you put your name there, but make sure we have your contact information as well. and your organization so that we can connect with you.
Okay, yes, I did, but I'll add the organization as well. I did
Thank
put
you.
my contact. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I thought I saw somebody else with their hand up briefly. If not, we are now at 24 minutes past 1 in my time. And if there are no more comments, I guess I can wish everybody a wonderful Christmas, Kwanzaa, and New Year for 2022. We'll be back again, as I said, next Thursday. We may have a special guest, I'm hoping, who will also provide us with additional insights into some of the things that they are doing, especially in the Global Unity Network African chapters, which we have many. So if that is all, I suppose we will see you all next time.
All
Thank
right.
you so
Thanks,
much, Lloyd.
everyone. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Love to all.
Thank you, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay.